All right. So I appreciate you guys. Section 3-5. This is page 123, numbers 1 through 38. All right. Now again, honestly, guys, fractions are some of the hardest things that kids do for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. All right. First of all, you always have to make sure you have a common denominator. If you have a common denominator, it's easy. Yes, sir.
Can I go get my backpack? I left it in the gym.
Well, do you need it right this second, or do you have
I have
paper?
paper.
All right, Bradley, can you let him borrow? Thank you, Bradley. All right. So now, again, today is easy. Next week is going to be a little bit harder. The reason why next week's going to be a little bit harder is because you won't have common denominators. But today you're going to have common denominators. So bear with me. All right, now what's a little bit harder this year is that there's positives and negatives in there. I'm expecting you to understand the positives and the negatives. All right? Now, again, I'm trying to tell us, some of you guys are taking my word for it. All right? I am loud, but I want to help you. You can't wait till I get to problem 20 before you say, I don't know what you're doing. All right? Ask right away. All right? No excuses whatsoever. All right? So question number 1. It has a common denominator. So who wants to tell me what the initial answer is? And you can just write the initial answer on your paper. You don't even have to write the original problem down. What's the initial answer? Ma'am.
8/6.
You are awesome. 8/6. All right? That is the initial answer. However, we can do what? We can simplify. You must simplify all fractions. And when you simplify that, that reduces down to what? 4/3. Now remember when I told you advanced math, right? We're just going to leave it as an improper fraction. All right, now I wish everybody would look at that and say, you don't have to write it down, but everybody should be able to look at that and say, that's obviously what? 1 1/3. If you know that, that's one less step. If you forgot how that's 1 1/3, just raise your hand and I'm going to show you real quick. You ready? So how many times does 3 go into 4? 1, with 1 left over. You with me on that? Do you want me to show you more, or are you good? All right? Because if I wanted to, I could do like this. And then it goes in 1, 3, 1 left over. And remember, 1, the numerator is the remainder, and 3 is your denominator. You with me on this? Very important now. Good job. Ask if you're not sure. So far, so good. All right? So again, on your paper, 8/6, 4/3. I'm happy. All right? Let's just go around the room. All right? Let's start over here. Number 2. What are you thinking? Just tell me what the answer is, buddy.
Oh, do you want us to write
What?
that down?
6, 9.
No, I think you should look carefully.
You want me to reduce?
No. I want you to just tell me what the answer is. Plus and minus together.
Oh.
Right? So here's how, if you were looking at it properly, that I try to tell kids that this is not necessary, that's not necessary, the plus is not necessary, that really is, and do me a favor, just go ahead and rewrite it. I don't want plus minus. If you see a plus and a minus, you automatically know it's a what?
Negative.
It's a negative. Thank you. All right? So I wish you would get in the habit of doing that. So technically it's just 2/9 minus 4/9, which is now what?
Negative 2/9.
Negative 2/9. Perfect. Now again, you don't have to be an expert right now. You have to be willing to talk to me. Good? All right. Good? All right. Again, speak up if you're not sure. All right, let's check out number 3 now. All right, we're just going to go right down the room.
It would be 6/12.
Come on now, you're making careless mistakes. 4 minus...
Negative 6/12.
Yes, don't make a mistake, especially careless. Hold on a minute. I want you to write negative 6/12. Right? It has a common denominator. Right now, you're doing mental math. You're just saying, do I understand 4 minus 10 is negative 6? If you understand that, just put negative 6/12. If you're looking at me going, I forgot about positives and negative, can you please help me? I want to. Okay, so listen, think of it in terms of money always. If you have $4 and you owe me 10, you can give me the 4 that you have, but you're still going to owe me what? That's exactly correct. You with me on that? Think in terms of money. Always in terms of money. And if they're both negative, I say you owe your mom $4, you owe your dad $6, then you owe your parents $10. You with me on that? We're going to talk about that. Now, of course, negative 6/12 can reduce to what? Negative 1/2. If you don't know that, you just raise your hand and say, help me out. Because if I go to number 4, that means everybody in here can do what questions?
3, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, and 3. There's no doubt in your mind. That's what that means. All right, Justice.
Yeah.
All right.
So 8 minus 11 would be negative 3 over 15.
You are awesome. Hold on a minute. Slow down. Thank you, though. Negative 3 over 15. Anybody have any issues? And now?
You can simplify, so it would be 1 over, or negative 1 over 5.
You are amazing. Negative 1 over 5. Everybody happy with that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we got number 5.
Okay, so that would be
3 plus 6.
9, and then 5 plus 3 is 8. And since it's you say 9 and you over here could
Well, what's 8 divided by 8?
8 divided by 8.
So, my final answer is
10.
10. Perfect. 10. What? We're not worried about that right now. I'm checking number 5. Do you understand number 5? All right, let me get to 6. I appreciate your questions. But as I'm going, we're covering all the bases, I promise you. All right, your job right now is to focus on every problem and then say, hey, I'm not sure what you did there. Does everybody understand why 9 and 8/8 is 10? Because 8 divided by 8 represents what? 1 whole. And you already have 9 holes. 9 holes plus 1 hole is 10. Now, this is the only time. What operation is between these, by the way, guys? There's actually an addition sign there. All right, the only time where there's not a symbol that is addition. Most of the time it's what? There's no symbol, it's multiplication. Good job. All righty. So, let's check out now number 6. We'll go with Mr. Diesel.
So you do, can you make an impact?
Just tell me what 2 plus 8 is.
Oh, that's 10.
And then?
And then, 1, 6, plus 3, 6 equals 4, 6.
Good. And then?
You can reduce it,
To what?
by 2, and so you get, 2 thirds.
Come on, guys. So everybody happy so far, right? Very, very important fractions. You have to be a master of fractions. Right? And the next thing I'm saying is don't let me get around and then all of a sudden I call on you and you're like, I have no idea what you're doing. All right? Stay with me. All right, where am I at now? All right, 7. What's S, by the way?
2 over 7.
So let her answer, please. What's T?
3 over 7.
What is T?
Negative 3 over 7.
Yes. Now look, guys. Does everybody see what we're doing? I want everybody to write down 2 7s minus, and then there's a negative 3 7s. Do we ever write double signs? Ever?
No.
No. Double negatives make it a?
Negative.
Let her talk. 2 negatives. Always make a positive. You with me? So what we're going to do is we're going to erase the double negatives, or you're just going to make it a what? Positive. Please let the person answer. Final answer.
5 over 7.
5 over 7. Beautiful. You happy with that? Everybody understanding the negatives, right? All right. You're up. What is R?
4 over, negative 4 over 7.
Negative 4 over 7 minus, what's T? So I'm going to write it just not to be lazy. Double negatives make a
Positive.
right. So we're going to come over here and I'm going to erase that and put a plus sign. All right, now I want you to be careful. Tell me what -4/7 plus 3/7. Now, everybody else should be saying in your head what the answer is, and you can see if you agree with them.
-7.
Negative what?
7.
What's -4 plus 3? You owe me $4.
Oh, sorry.
You have 3.
Yeah, so that's 1/7. -1/7.
There you go. Come on now. Think before you speak. -1/7. -1/7. Any questions or concerns with that? I think that's pretty good. Tell me.
I mean, like, why did you subtract from 4?
Because, again, it's just understanding.
Oh, I got that.
You good? Okay, very good. No, it's okay. Listen, it's more important to make a mistake right now. Let's correct it so your brain knows. All right, don't sit here and not know something. And if you don't understand why it's -1/7, put your hand up and say, man, show me real quick. All right? Yosef, number 9, what's R?
-4/7.
So -4/7 minus, what's S?
2/7.
2/7. So everybody wrote that down. Now I want you to think carefully now.
6/7.
What type of 6?
-6.
Because you owe your dad 4, you owe your mom 2, so you owe what? 6. Do you agree with me? You can't owe 4 and owe 2 and have 6. Doesn't make sense. Everybody agree?
So,
Thank you,
because
sorry.
you're doing subtraction,
No, don't think about that way. Think about it as this. Hear me out. Now listen carefully. I always think of them as individual pieces. That's -4. And that's -2. You with me? You owe 4, and you owe 2. That means you owe 6. That's why it's -6/7. You hear me? Yosef?
Are we doing problems?
No word problems. All right, we're going to come back to the word problems. All right. Number 12, be careful, please. Number 12. You're up.
Oh, okay. So
It's technically what?
a negative.
Right, because a positive and a negative. So I want you to write it as 5/6 minus 4/6.
So it would be 1.
Yes, it would be.
-1.
What?
Negative.
You have $5 and you owe me 4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what?
Because for some reason I thought.
I'm just asking you what the answer is.
1/6.
1/6. Now, once again, she kind of thought it was negative, then she changed to positive. Now we're back to positive. We're agreeing it is positive because it's literally just 5 minus 4. Everybody happy with that? Next, tell me about 13.
So it's.
I just want to know what the answer is.
Negative 4.
-4/12. Take your time. Don't be nervous. -4/12. Does everybody agree with -4?
Why are you subtracting?
Well, because listen to me. Here we go. You ready? One more time. Let's say it. You owe me 11. You have 7. If you pay me back, now you owe me what? Do you with me? Right? You owe me $11 and you have 7. So if you pay me back, now you only owe me 4. Good? And now what can I do to -4/12?
Simplify it.
Yes, -1/3. Everybody happy so far now? Keep going. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at 14. All right, how do I want you to write 14? Very, very smart. Thank you, girl. Good job. Thank you for listening. Final answer.
Negative 2 over 14.
Negative 2 over 14.
Simplify it, so 1 over 7. Negative 1%.
You are awesome. Thank you. That was really good. Negative 1/7. That's how I kind of want you to do it. All right, I want you to think whenever you see a plus or minus, it really just means minus. Now, let me say this again, because here's where some people are getting confused. Just because something is minus, do you always subtract?
No.
No, you should know that now. If they're both negative, what are you going to do to the numbers? Add them. If one's positive, one's negative, you're going to have to do what? Subtract them. You with me now, right? All right. Mr. Thomas, let's hear you now. Nice and loud and proud, buddy. 15. What do you got? How did you get 18, buddy? I know you did. Just relax. Tell me what the question is, Thomas. Read it to me. Just. So what's negative 3 plus 6? Tell me again. You owe me 3. Think about it like this. You owe me 3, and you have $6 in your hand. If you pay me back, what's the result? 3. You with me now, right? You with me? Good. So your final answer, Thomas, is what? Is it negative or positive? Now, are you guessing? Come on, Thomas. Listen, look at me, Thomas. Think about it now. You have been doing amazing work. All right? So now just relax for a second, okay? Read it this way, Thomas. Read that number first. 6 minus 3. That's another way you can do it. Yeah, put the bigger number first. Does that make sense? And now it's just what? 6 minus 3. And 6 minus 3 today is 3. Positive 3. Does that make sense, guys? Sometimes I used to remember first doing this, I would always put the larger number first. I would never say negative 3 plus 6. I would say what? 6 minus 3. All right? So that's why it is 3 over 7. All right? That's why it's important to keep working with me. All right, here we go. 16. 10 and 2/4, which is the same as 10 and 1/2. Good job. Everybody good on this? Beasley, you working back there? $17. Now I need you to be careful on this one because the plus minus. Exactly. So I want everybody to check that. All right. You with me now, right? That's how I want you to write it. Very nice. 11 and 4/9. Very, very good. 11 and 4/9. Justice, is that good for you? Good. Joseph, you good?
Yeah.
You good? Good? All right. Here we go. 18. Good job, girl. Negative 5 over 15. Very nice. Very nice. Now, can you reduce that? You're awesome. Very nice, Carly. Good, good, good work. That's what I want from everybody. All right. Now, don't mess this one up. 19.
It's -2 over 11.
Negative 2 over 11. Now, as we're going through these, you're supposed to be going, I'm getting better. I'm getting it. Right? You shouldn't have to be correcting every problem. All right? You're up. Number 20.
Negative 3 over 5.
Come on.
No, do it.
You owe your mom $1 and you owe your dad $4.
So it would be
Yes, but I want you to tell me first, what's -1 and -4?
5 over 5.
What type?
Negative.
Yes, that's what I want. All right, I don't want the answer. I want to work it step by step. Now, Carter,
It'd be equal to negative.
-1. Perfect. -1. Everybody okay with that? Now, you're trying to get the answer before I give you the answer. That way you can tell whether or not you understand what we're doing. We're not writing down my answer. Does everybody understand that? You're trying to do the problem. See if you agree with Justice. All right, 21. What do I have?
Okay, so would it be negative 14 over 20?
You are amazing.
Okay, and then you can simplify that, so it would be 7 over 10.
Positive or negative?
Negative.
Justice. Awesome. Very good, buddy. -7 over 10, man. You're right on it. Good. Tell me. Good for you. Very good. Tell me.
How do you get 15?
Okay, so now listen to me. Here's something else now. Listen, I want everybody, because I'm trying to teach you how to learn. Watch. Listen to what I'm saying. He's asking me how in the world I got 14. How do you think I got 14 with 2 7s? I added them. Now I know, but here's what I'm trying to tell you. So now, since you just told me we have to add them, now your job is to say, well, why did he add them?
Yeah, why did you?
Because you owe your mom how much?
7,
And you owe your dad,
7,
so you owe.
14.
That's what that means. All right, that's what that means. All right.
Actually,
Oh, no, you're not up. Sorry, I thought you were up. Who's up? Oh, Leighton. Sorry.
when would you like subtract 1? How would you?
Subtraction is always, very good. Subtraction is always when one is positive and the other is what?
Negative.
If you can remember that, that's a good way. If you have a positive and you have a negative, you always what? Subtract. If they're both positive or both negative, you always what? Add. That's what you should be able to tell yourself. If you add negatives, you get more negatives. Do you agree? You add positives, you get more positives. Negatives and positives do what to each other? Cancel out. That's why they get smaller. All right, that's what you're supposed to be understanding. You with me now, right? Now, again, that's why I sometimes say some kids make a mistake because they read this and they say what? Subtraction or minus. Does that automatically mean to subtract? No. You have to understand what this is in order to tell whether you're adding or subtracting. You're hearing me now? All right. Now, again, try to get the next one right before Leighton tells us the right answer or before Leighton gives us a response.
Yeah.
Because we won't know about the answer. All right. Here we go. Automatically, 2 negatives become a?
Positive, so you add.
So here we go. I'm going to change these real quick.
Okay.
This goes out. That goes out. And so we're going to go ahead and make that. What did you say, Leighton? What am I?
Positive.
A positive.
Yeah. And
Uh-oh, so we have some issues here now. Come on. So your final answer would be, or the next answer would be?
12 plus 10 is 22. And was there a 7? Yeah, there was a 7.
Oh, was there a 7 right here?
I think yeah.
Okay, so I'll believe you.
So 9 and 22.
9 and 22 over what?
13.
Is everybody happy with that so far?
Yeah.
9 and 22 over 13, correct? Now, you should be able to say this right here is more than one whole, correct?
Yeah.
So 22/13 is the same as, let him
So,
answer.
like a mix. No.
Yes.
One
1.
and 9.
Yes, sir.
13.
Yes, good job. So my final answer on that is
10 and 9 over 13.
10 and 9 over 13. 10 and 9 over 13.
Okay.
Is everybody happy with that? All right.
And I understand it now.
Diesel, bless you. All right, Diesel, do I add or subtract?
You add.
You are adding them, correct? Because both of them are what?
Negative.
Negative. So add them up for me, please.
8 and 3 tenths plus 4 and 9 tenths.
Which is?
That equals 12 over 12 tenths.
Okay. Uh-oh. Does everybody agree with that, right? Everybody happy with that? Okay, Diesel, now what's the next step?
You have to since 12 is bigger than 10, you have to make it 13 and 2 tenths.
Now you're leaving out the negatives. You make me nervous here, Diesel, because you were sloppy last year at the end. So your details you need to get better at. Do you understand that's negative? Now what's the final answer?
The final answer is 13 over 2 tenths.
What about 2/10? Shh, don't help him. What can I do to 2/10?
You can reduce it.
Yes, sir. Now I want you to collect yourself and tell me the right answer the first time.
13, negative 13 over 1/5.
Yes, negative 13 and 1/5. Thank you. All right, you understand what I'm telling you, right? Be careful with details. All right, 24. Here we go. Mia, what's y?
2.
What's y? 2/9. What's z?
Negative 4/9.
So do you see the double negatives? So that makes a? Good job. 2/9 plus 4/9. 6 over 9. 2/3. Amazing. Amazing. All right. Carmen, you're up. What's y?
Y is 2 over 9.
2 over 9.
And x is negative 5 over 9.
So what happens?
It's plus.
It is plus.
So then it's 7 over 9.
You're awesome, girl. Good job. 7 over 9. Very nice. All right, I feel good. I feel good. Here we go. Help me out with 26, please.
So x is negative 5 over 9.
Good.
And z is negative 4 over 9.
So that becomes a positive. Now, come on now. You're working on this now.
Yes.
Concentrate.
That's 1 over 9.
How much?
1 over 9.
Pos-
Negative 1 over 9.
You with me, right?
Yeah.
Definitely negative. Negative 1/9. Is everybody happy with that? All right, good job. Yosef, you're up. Come on, buddy. Get this one right now, please. What's z?
Negative 4 over 9.
Good. What's x?
It's negative 5 over 9.
So what does that happen?
It could be negative.
Look right here. See this? And this next to each other makes a what?
Positive.
You understand that, Yosef? Don't want you just changing your answer now. You understand me, right?
Yeah.
Double negatives make a positive. All right, now tell me what that answer is.
It's negative. It's negative 9 over 9.
Why is that?
Because this
You owe me $4. Do you understand that? That's what negative means. Come on now, listen to me. You owe me 4. In your pocket, you have 5.
it's negative 1.
So if you have $5 in your pocket and you owe me 4, if you give me your money, you're still going to owe me 1?
Oh, no.
What is it?
It's 1 over 9.
1 over 9. Now, does everybody understand? Somebody said this earlier, right? Instead of doing negative 4 plus 5, I could write it as what?
5 minus 4.
Now you're going 5 minus 4. How did I not know that? 5 minus 4 is like first grade. You with me on this, right? So sometimes it's easier just to rewrite the problem. You agree? All right, don't be confused. All right, so here we go. Let's scroll down. 29 and 28, 29 are no good. Ooh, this is the thinking man's question right here.
Okay.
So I want to know if I'm at negative 5/8 and I walk to 1/8, how far did I walk? Shh, let her think.
Figure negative 5/8.
And I walked to 1/8. How far did I walk?
4/8.
Let's see. I'm going to draw this out for you just to make sure so you can see how silly this is. All right, here's a number line. Where did I start at?
Negative 5/8.
Negative 5/8. I ended up over here at 1/8. Is that correct? Let me double check that.
Yeah.
Yes, of course I'm right. At negative 5/8 to 1/8. How far did I walk? Well, do you agree zero's in there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So 0 would be kind of close to right there, right?
Yeah.
So if I walked from negative 5/8 to 0, how far did I walk? No, she's a thinker.
You walked.
If I said, if I walk from negative 5 to 0, how far did I walk?
Negative 5 to 0.
So if I walked negative 5/8 to 0, I walked?
6.
No, you're not. If you started at negative 5/8 and you walked to 0, how far did you walk? Yes. 5 what?
5/8.
Yes. You hear me now, right? Because I said if I started at negative 5 and I walked to 0, you said negative 5, or you walked 5, right? So this distance right here is 5/8. Do you agree? How much is it from 0 to 1/8?
0 to 1/8. From 0 to 1/8.
Is
1/8.
1/8. So how far did I walk altogether?
Altogether, you walked 6.
Yes. Does that make sense, right? 6/8. And 6/8 reduces to what?
3.
Yes.
3/4.
Yes, it does. 3/4. Okay, that's a hard one, but that's how I want you to think about the distance. Now, someone was smart. They said, can you just subtract them? And the answer is, guess what? Yes. Now, how do I subtract? Watch. It would be 1/8 minus negative 5/8. And the double negatives make a what?
Positive.
So 1/8 plus 5/8 is, which reduces to, you happy with that? Good? All right, let's let the fun continue now.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, so if I start at negative 7/15 and I walk to negative 4/15, how far did I walk? Bradley, do not embarrass me. So if I start at negative 7/15 and I walk to negative 4/15, I've walked, you know what, that's 3/15, that's correct. Is everybody with me on this? 3/15. Is everybody happy with that? Right? That was good. Thinking about visually where you are. Yeah, but listen, that's a very good question. But here's what the question is. Watch what the question is. The question says, if I'm here, and that's negative 7/15, and I'm walking over here to negative 4/15, how far did I walk? Here we are, right? So I'm walking all the way to here. Does that make sense? So I walked what? 3/15. Do you see that now, right? So technically you're supposed to do what? Subtract them. But I prefer that you just think about it more than just subtract. Okay?
Mr. Strike.
32. Oh,
1/2.
well, wait a minute. Yeah, we can. Sorry. So that worked reduced to what? 1/5. Thank you
One
for
time
catching
Mr.
that.
Stroud being wrong.
All right. No, I wasn't wrong. Bradley didn't reduce it. All right, here we go. Well, that's not what I want. From negative 1/8 to 3/8, I went how many eighths? You were right. You went how many? 4/8. Beautiful. From negative 1/8 to 3/8 was 4/8. Is everybody happy with that? And then 4/8 reduced to what? 1/2. Is everybody okay with this? All right, tell me what you can do. From negative 3/16 to 3/16 is? Shh, shh.
1/16.
How did you get it?
You subtracted 3 times 0.
No. Think about it like this, please. That's why I don't like to say subtract. Here is where you are. You're at negative 3/16. Over here is what? 3/16, right? And again, I know this is kind of dumb, but this is how I learned it. I'm here. I'm walking all the way over to here. Pay attention now. It's not time to go. From here to here, I stopped at what? 0. So how far have I walked? 3/16, right? And then I walk another what?
So it's 6/16?
Yes. Come on now. That's how I want you thinking about it. That's 6/16. And 6/16 is the same as?
3/8.
You are awesome. 3/8. All right. Yes, sir.
Say if we wanted you to walk 3/16 to negative 3/16.
Technically, you would say I walked negative 3/8, but you can't really walk a negative direction. I mean, you can't really walk a negative distance. You can only walk a negative direction. So negative is not a length. Negative is a direction. Do you hear what I'm saying? I would say positive, but I don't want you to worry about that right now. Okay? Is the bell getting ready to ring? Is that what you guys are telling me? Okay, so listen to me now, guys. Hey, stop. And listen, you only have to do question 34 and question 35. Those are kind of tricky. But now listen to me. Hey, I want you to hear me. That was a fantastic job. Fantastic. That's how I want to operate every day. We get most of our work done. But now listen, if you're sitting there going, wow, I could use a little bit of extra practice, go over the problems. Is everybody hearing me? You only have 2 problems, 34 and 35. That's the only 2 problems you have, 34 and 35. Unless you were a little bit confused and you didn't want to ask me a question, then I want you to continue working, right, and practice the problems that we did. I'm not sure I made myself clear. Does everybody understand what I'm saying, right? If you were having a little trouble, practice a few of the problems.
Yeah, you are. Oh, guys, we don't have one. I need to tell you. We don't. No, we don't. We haven't.
Oh, yeah. Come see me, like,
In
the morning.
We'll be in English
I'll try.
Yeah.
And then,
Or at lunch. Or at...
we don't have lunch. We have lunch next.
I know, but I'm saying, just come see me.
No, we do.